Good morning, welcome back. Apologize for the noise. My neighbor has a laser cutter with a vent fan running. I tried to put a noise gate on the audio, but we'll see. So this is where we left off. And today I think to start we're gonna put in some exhaust and intake valves and the actual port. So let's start with the head. Basically these two little holes are going to be the passages for the valve stems. So what we need to do is figure out a way to make ports that come in and down. And I think to do that, what I'll do is I'll start on this face and just draw a circle, and I'll project. You know what? Actually, I wonder if I can put an axis in here to start. Yeah, we'll put an axis on this, an axis on this, and then when we go into the sketch, I'm going to bring this down. We can then project that axis and lock it to it. And for now, I will just put it on the center line. Okay, sure. And then I think what I'll do is I'll put a plane here and draw another sketch here. Again, I'm going to project that axis and do something like this. Will it let me do this? Yeah, put like a 10 millimeter curve. Yeah, okay, finish. So let's just see what happens. If I sweep the circle along the curve, there's and cut, there's a port. Great. And there's our valve stem hole. So let's do the same thing for, so if this is the front of the engine, I'm going to start out by putting the intake on this side. So as you're looking at the engine from the front, the intake would be on your right and the exhaust would be on the left, similar to like a Cummins inline diesel engine. So let's do another sketch. And the reason I'm not going to pattern this is because I have a feeling that I will make the intake ports and the exhaust ports different. And I also assume that maybe the valve sizes for each intake and exhaust are different. Now we sweep this. All right. So we've roughed in intake and exhaust ports. So now we need the actual valves to go in these holes, right? So let's make some valves. Let's see, something like I don't know what these tapers are going to be, these angles. I don't know. Uh, Hardcore diesel enthusiasts would probably know right off the top of their head they're a 45 or they're a 60 or whatever. I'll have to kind of look into that, what the different manufacturers use, and we'll deal with that later. For now, I'll just make it 45. Oh, one thing I should add is that there's bringing something like this to a point is never a good idea if you don't have to. It's always good to terminate it with a flat. It doesn't like when I do that for some reason. Hold on. See if I can figure that out. There we go. All right. So these sizes are just garbage. We're just faking it. We're faking it all in right now. Oh, and while we're here, we might as well. These are not typically just flat. You have to actually put quite a bit of thought into this contour because these valves take a beating. I mean, the valve is probably the most abused part of an engine because of the heat cycle it has to take and the forces that it has to withstand. Yeah, I don't know how this will look. For now, let's just round it a little bit. Okay, so we'll call this the intake valve, and for the time being, we'll just use two intake valves, one for the intake, one for the exhaust, and then at the end, we'll save as off of this and then create an exhaust valve and modify it however we want. Okay, so there it is. It's in there. It's tiny, not obviously not even close to sized, right? We'll get there. All right, so let's just eyeball this to get it a little closer, and then we'll leave it for now. So something like, sure, 60, 12. See how that looks. Doesn't look too bad. So this taper is going to have to be a lot larger. And this a lot flatter. Okay, that's not bad. My sense is just from previous diesel engines that I've seen is that these are going to get a lot larger and closer together. And so let's just do that now, just so we have a better visual reference. Let's make this maybe 30, 35. And let's make these valves bigger. Might be too big, but it's okay. Yeah, we're getting closer, and also these valves are arranged in line with each other, and most of the time you'll see them offset, kind of at an angle. The reasons for that I'm not sure of, but I'm sure that it will become apparent to us as we go on. So can we make these a bit bigger? Let's make this guy. Even bigger. So we're going to have to put tapers or valve seats on right here on the head. We'll do that a bit later. All right, I think that's where we'll stop it on this video. So what do we have so far? We have, let's make it look a little prettier. So we have valves, teeny valves, head, block, crank, rod, piston. So in the next video, I guess we will put in a camshaft to actuate these valves overhead. All right, take care.